What's the word, y'all? Have you ever watched an anime arc that just left you staring at your screen, heart beating, wondering if things could get any wilder? Because that's exactly how I felt watching JJK Season 2. And with Season 3 just around the corner, releasing January 8, 2026, my birthday, I can't think of a better time to dive back in and just look back at how crazy JJK Shibuya incident is. And let me tell you right now, liar liar, pants on fire, I don't know why I waited this long to watch JJK. It's far better than the alternative watching magic gay sorcerers. I'm sorry. I didn't know an arc could be mentally and physically exhausting in a good way. Because after finishing this arc, it felt like a sudden rush of euphoria went to the tip of my penis. So before Season 3 rolls around, let's try to revisit the fights, the deaths, the game-changing twists that happened in JJK Season 2. How crazy was JJK Shibuya Incident Arc? Subscribe, like, support small creators like me, and fuck that. Before we start, I'll be breaking this video down into 3 consecutive parts: Gojo's Sealing, Sukuna's Revival, and Mahito's Raid. But before all of that, while watching JJK during the holidays, I realized that JJK does something I really like with its characters. It makes us care for them, and surprisingly, that's really hard for some shows to do. JJK knows how to make characters we actually care for. You know, the entire arc, the entire Shibuya arc, we get shown a blend of old characters that shine during Season 1 that we know of, and new characters that we never really seen during the show. And all of them are interesting, they're fascinating, they're deep characters with motivation and goals. So it especially hits us when eventually it doesn't matter because the enemy is just stronger. Almost all of them need to step up their game or they're just dead. They won't make it out Shibuya alive. The sealing of Gojo Satoru might be up there in the greatest plan in anime history. Not to compare it with other animes, but typically overpowered characters like Gojo are always hindered in some dumbass way so that they wouldn't, you know, go at it and just one-shot everything across the screen. But for the case of Gojo's sealing, the plan is anime gold. The plan felt calculated. They oversmarted him in every step of the way. They picked a crowded Shibuya in Halloween. They dropped veils so that other sorcerers can't come in and back Gojo up. They rallied together with Mahito's transfigured human, and Gege was ready to set up the prison realm to seal Gojo. All these plan was to neutralize one guy who shifts the power balance. The fact that they took their time making this plan to capture one person shows how Gojo's presence just changed everything in the show. And even with this plan, it's not without its casualties. You know, Hanami literally dies from Gojo's passive. They're 1v3ing and they're losing, and they know that. The entire plan was to get these innocent people around Gojo so that he wouldn't use his domain expansion and just kill everyone in sight. But the fact that Gojo pulls a 0.2 second domain expansion, frying every transfigured human while sparing and saving the innocent, exhausting him just enough to be sealed. As a first-time watcher, I never understand why Gojo didn't just use his domain expansion to kill everyone inside, because especially after watching the Rico arc. So when Gojo did his stance for domain expansion, I surely thought that everybody will be dead. All the innocent, all the transfigured human, the curses, they're dead. And in hindsight, this is the turning point of all turning point, ladies and gentlemen. It cannot go better than this. You're telling me we went from an impossible fantasy-like scenario where a fat girl loses weight and becomes an average to everyone just running and fighting for their lives? If you told me that, I would call you stupid. Yeah, you're blowing from stupid town. There's a reason why Gojo is popular, and that's not just because he's hot. Yeah, I mean, there's more to that. Let me answer Geto's question. Are you the strongest because you're Gojo, or are you Gojo because you're the strongest? I don't know what the fuck that means. I'm not a philosopher, I'm not Shakespeare, but I want to say the answer is both. He's the Goku of this universe. He gets taken out in the very beginning. You know, if more villains could just understand, in order to win, you gotta kill Naruto, you gotta kill Luffy. Easier said than done, you know, again. Without Gojo, cursed users and cursed spirits who fear them will come out of hiding, which led to Toji Sennin's revival, caused by a cursed user who came out of hiding now that Gojo is out of the picture. Without Gojo, the people he protected will be targeted by the higher-ups. And if the JJK world is too busy with internal squabbles with the clans, with the higher-ups, this will lead to their defeats at the hand of the curses and Ghetto. Everything that happens in Shibuya incident is because one character, the strongest, got taken out. It felt like every character had a risk at dying, which eventually they did. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you right now, it's only Act 1. You know, the action doesn't stop. You know, prepare your pee-pee poo-poo, because we got nothing, no breaks, no funny moments. We're still going, right? It's like episode 12. The first arc feels like it should be some anime's best arc, yet it's only the beginning. Before we get into part 2, I just want to remind you all to subscribe. We're so close to hitting 1K subscribers. You know, support small creators like me. But I also want to have a conversation with you guys. You know, what do you guys think about the criticism that this arc gets from some of its haters, calling it, you know, mindless action? Because when I heard that, I was like, okay, but it's not. I don't think it's just action for action's sake. I don't think it's fights to just validate some horny teenager's wet dream. I really don't think it's the case, because every fight had meaning, had consequences, and even the fights they won, spoiler alert, they lost. While I do have some problems with it as a first-time viewer, like for example, no breathing rooms, you know, no time to digest what's going on, but I realized in hindsight, fixing those scenes will only ruin the structure this arc had. In hindsight, it's perfect the way it is, because it felt like a snowball rolling down the hill, and it kept on rolling. It's like a snowball from Mount Everest hit a small town in Egypt. I was watching this for the first time in the Philippines, and I was waiting for that one episode where things eventually get resolved and the heroes get a win. We got nothing. I was waiting at each and every episode. Twist, shock, and it's a euphoria. When Toji killed Damon, I was like, yes! Then Jogo came out of nowhere and just one-shotted everybody. And I was like, what? When Toji exploded himself, we thought Megumi was fine. Like, hey! Just for another curse users to be right there to, you know, to steal the kill. Like, what's up? And when we thought Yuji escaped death against Chozo, just for Sukuna to be reborn with 15 total fingers. It's done. Like, it doesn't matter. Watching Sukuna come back, I miss all this chaos that's already happening. I was still in like a kiddie anime, I'm sorry to say this, Naruto mode. I was like, yeah, yes. I really thought, you know, Sukuna coming back, he's gonna fix everything. He's gonna grant the twins' wishes, because, you know, the twins, they fed Sukuna a finger, you know what I'm saying? And he's gonna go there, he's gonna find Geto, the brain Geto, and save Gojo. That scene with the twins and Sukuna, that was downright terrifying, bro. I could feel the haki bursting through my, like, I don't know, nipples. So when the twins died, I thought, you know, oh shit, he's gonna team up with Jogo, because Jogo fed him 10 finger. And then Jogo will get his wish. And I was like, oh shit. Sukuna wants to fight this motherfucker. He wants to kill this motherfucker. He's unpredictable. Again, JJK turns tables terribles. I should know this by now. Sukuna is pure evil. We've been spoon-fed with evil characters having some sort of compassion. But this is not the case. Sukuna is pure evil incarnate. If it's like, I can't say that. I was about to say a certain person in Germany mixed with another person in North Korea and had a baby. I don't know, I can't say that anymore. Sukuna is somebody we shouldn't cheer for, okay? He isn't some Naruto nine-tailed fox, you know, where he just kills everybody. That's, you know, all the enemies. If Yuji ever gives in to Sukuna, he will kill everybody Yuji loves. Even the scene where he saves Megumi is so downright terrifying. How come this demon who doesn't care about anything keeps on saving Megumi's life? So we only think that, you know, Sukuna has a deeper plan in all this, bro. So when eventually Sukuna switches back, you know, he fought Jogo, destroyed half of Shibuya, he fought Mahoraga, destroyed another half of Shibuya. At this point, I don't know how, you know, Shibuya is still vibing after all these fights, you know. Maybe I shouldn't go to Shibuya, and, you know, if you go to Japan. When Yuji saw the aftermath of Sukuna's battle, everything he'd done from the point of, like, you know, killing the twins, you know, killing Jogo, killing all these fucking people, Mahoraga. Watching this for the first time, I thought, surely, what Yuji sees everything Sukuna done, he's gonna go find Mahito, he's gonna go find Brain Geto and save Gojo. He's gonna do this. Everything's gonna get resolved now. It didn't. and it somehow got worse. And remember how I said JJK builds up interesting characters that make us actually care for them? And this show does it very easily, but we all know it's a double-edged sword. Because you can get attached to one character the second, and they can easily yank them out of the series in a flash. I love and hate these shows at the same time. And so, you know, sorry to belittle One Piece here. One Piece is my favorite anime. But that's something One Piece could never do. The world of JJK is different. The opening tricks you into thinking Junpei will join. The show tricks you into thinking Rico will live. Each and every time we are reminded that JJK world is very different from all the other anime, you know, worlds out there. We, as the viewer, after all of this, I'm so tired. We get battle scars. It felt like we're there. You know, like after Yuji sees everybody just dying, the worst is still yet to come. Surely nothing can be worse, you know, than seeing all these people die while you're in the backseat. During Mahito's reign, he kills Nanami in front of Yuji. And after that, he kills Nobara in front of Yuji. And both times, Yuji still can't defeat Mahito. In any other show, once he killed Nanami, Mahito is done. In any show, once he killed Nobara, Yuji will go full Super Saiyan and just kill Mahito. But it's still not enough. The moment Nobara got touched, okay, I couldn't process. I actually left out a gasp. There's 2 times I let out a gasp. One was Zootopia 2, when the villain was revealed. The second time was this one. I was like, surely Nobara doesn't die, right? But I don't know that. Frankly, I was thinking, I was like Yagami-esque, I was like, how can Nobara get out of this situation? The shock I felt, bro, as a first-time viewer. It really felt like any character could die. And the craziest part in all of these is Mahito's defeat. You know, because for the past season, in season 1, we grow to hate Mahito. And frankly, you know, I like, you know, Jogo and Hanami more because they got humanized. Never Mahito. I never had a connection with Mahito. You know, he just goes around and touch people. Over the season, what he did to Junpei, what he did to Nanami, and what he did to Nobara and all these people. So when eventually Yuji beats him, I was like, hell yes, finally a win. This is the Shibuya arc. Nothing's a fucking win. Every win is a lose is a lose. 5 episodes of fighting Mahito, and for what? I was expecting a triumph win. I was supposed to be pumping my fist and like, oh yeah, hell yeah, brother, Stone Cold Steve Austin style, you know, breaking a can of like, you know, America. Was that racist? I don't know. But it took Yuji and Toro past their limits just to beat Mahito, and for what? Just for Brain Ghetto to absorb him and get stronger and escape with Jogo sealed? In the end, Ghetto still wins. The villains win. Sukuna has 15 fingers. 5 more and he's complete. And the final checkmate in all of this is that cliffhanger ending. After all the shit we've been through, after everything, the ball never stops moving. The aftermath of Shibuya incident is what puts this arc in one of the greats. It's already in one of the greats, but it just passed through one of the gates. At the end, there's no win. We didn't get no explanation, no nonsense, you know, no nonsense, no hope, no beach episode. The plot just keeps escalating. We just get a slideshow of everything that happened after the arc. Gojo Satoru is deemed as an accomplice of Ghetto and is now exiled, making his unsealing a criminal act. Principal Yaga is sentenced to death, as well as Yuji. Everyone is just dead. Everyone just hates each other. It's like a goddamn soap opera drama in the JJK world. With one move, the higher-ups got rid of Gojo and Sukuna's vessel at the same time. And obviously, the whole JJK world would not side with Yuji after seeing Sukuna's rampage in Shibuya. Hopefully, in JJK's next arc, we can get some sort of fresh air. You know, maybe the Culling Game is gonna have a beach episode. Hopefully, you know. I don't know. I don't want to get spoiled. Subscribe, like, support small creators like me. I love you guys. Real one say back.